You can do like $4. I can reimburse you with cash.
I don't know how many times I've given up stuff for people in this town. It never comes back, and I can't take care of myself.
It'll come back to you.
That's what you said the last four times.
I don't run into you enough of this. It's just working out that way. It sucks. It's not on purpose.
Well, you told me last time it was on purpose, and I still hooked you up.
Probably only like $25, maybe 20 tops. It's like $3 here, $5 here. I doubt I owe you $25, but I would give you $25.
I just burnt my damn nose.
Just broke your nose.
No, I just burnt my nose.
Oh, burn. I'll be right back. Sometimes you know.
Yeah, you know what I come to realize? I'm about the only sober homeless person out here. The only other people that I know out here that are sober, they're taking care of addicts.
I just actually robbed an entire fentanyl thing. Oh, back up there.
See, now because I'm autistic, people pretend like I'm retarded, and I imagine people like you. I said, because I'm autistic, people pretend I'm retarded, and I imagine people like you.
I don't even give a shit. I'm autistic for sure, dude, and I don't give a shit.
When I explain to people that, like, I'm not some idiot that doesn't know anything about drugs or know anybody who does drugs, that I just magically make this stuff up, I'm like, no, I live on the fucking streets. You don't get to know nothing out here.
You live in a vehicle, bro.
For right now, and stop telling me how lucky I am to have this piece of shit. The thing is, I understand how much better off I am in this thing than people who don't have it.
Have a good day.
But the thing is, I got just as many roadblocks because I have a vehicle.
I was like Geo Metro. So
My first car was a Geo Metro, or was gonna be. My first working car was a Geo Metro. Alright, I gotta head over there and talk to Chris. It's getting closer to 8.
Once you got home, you got it?
That might gross somebody out. Yeah, it's pretty big. I had a few other ones too. When I say I'm trudging off through the woods and getting scratched up by bushes, I'm getting scratched up by bushes from trudging up in the woods. If I say I'm getting sliced up because I'm running my mouth, I'm getting sliced up because I'm running my mouth. What I'm telling you, Christian, is fucked up on drugs about every time I see him, and he never pays me back because he's an addict, and he's one of the, well, out of all the people that I can go to for help, I don't hate any of them. It's just they're not reliable. And there's a reason they're not reliable. Drug use. And a lot of them, well, they're getting all fucked up and they want me to feel sorry for them, and they promise to pay me back and help me out. These people are all more physically able than I am. Mentally, even when they're fucked up, many of these people are more functional than I am. And you don't understand that that is a result of all of the sounds in my environment. I need a place to, how do I put this? got a rechargeable battery. Sometimes you need to. When you insist that that thing works when it's out of charge, and you're pissed at it and whipping it when it can't work with no energy, Jesus Christ, you're a fucked up person. With me not doing those drugs, it's tough for me to be able to do the things I need to do. If I was on those drugs, however, it wouldn't make me able to do those things. How did humankind heal up before drugs? Now we've got a system whereby the police can do whatever they want. Judges pretty well do whatever the fucking cops want, unless somebody's got some money. Meanwhile, people like Christian, a lot of the women that I know, they ended up autistic a very specific way. They learned that they were young and cute, and they could play people and get free shit. And a lot of that included free drinks and free drugs, and they ended up with addictions. And then they hit the wall, and people weren't giving them free shit as much. They were having to settle down and pretend to give a shit about a guy to have a roof over their head. Things weren't what they thought they were going to be when they were 14, or when they were playing dolly in house as little kids. Now, there's a lot of people whose favorite thing is technology. Girls, even in the 1980s, when a phone was tethered to the wall, even then, girls were known for being on the phone, especially teenage girls. Now, with phones that aren't tethered to the wall that you can take everywhere, everybody can be like that. The problem is, if we want to interact, we have to interact on the internet, where women are working each other up into a tiffy about how horrible all men are because they have penises, and trying to get all men killed. There's a lot of organizations that literally claim that as their goal, to see to it that all men are put to death. These are absolute hate groups. The most vicious hate groups out there are run by minorities and women, who want to blame all of us for the same politicians that are fucking us over. I'm not a disabled person. I'm not a victim of this abuse. I couldn't be, because I'm the wrong gender and the wrong color, and that's the wrong way of thinking. My disabilities still exist, and my poverty still exists, and those are the two biggest things as far as putting us into a lockup. You're more likely to not end up with something on your record if you make over $50,000 a year. And that's not a lot of money. It's really not. But there's also a lot of factors involved. Like whether or not you have a family. There's a lot of things to get leniency. Like, you could be the world's biggest piece of shit, but if you got kids, you got something the government will pay you for. Now, because Chris came up when I started this video, I didn't get to do what I was planning on doing. I really had to address the fact that so many homeless people out here do that to me. They give me the promises. I don't need the promises. I don't ever expect them to pay me back, but they gotta understand that I'm not gonna keep on paying out everything that I got. I mean, I spent over $400 on Candace for her and her son and her friend to have food. I record everything for a reason. I didn't record her or that situation to be mean to her or to anyone else. I gotta go find a bathroom to use, and of course I'm just driving back and forth between these two parking lots. And there's a reason I'm doing that. addicts because I don't have a working speedometer, and I've said that many times on my channel. But that's one of many issues, that I can't take care of myself and make sure that I have all the equipment required to do all the things I'm asked to, plus the vehicle to run around and do all this. There's no fucking way that I could run through all of this on public transit, especially with it making my stuff unsafe. Just going into a grocery store, I have to worry about my stuff getting stolen. A lot of people pretend like because I'm autistic, it means I'm retarded. When I say I'm stuck out here with drug addicts, and I have to depend on drug addicts who promise they'll this or they'll that. If I this and I that, if I pay for this and I pay for that. I bought a lot of food for people out here as soon as I got my food stamps. A lot of homeless folks that always make promises, they just don't seem to know how to follow through. I got food and I'm willing to feed people. I just don't have much. I gotta live on about $20 on food stamps. I think that might be what I have left, if that. And a lot of these addicts, they do the 2-for-1 thing. They sell all their food stamps at the beginning of the month, right as soon as they get them. And then they're so busy chasing their drugs that they never get anything done other than chasing around for drugs. And of course, you get $150 in food stamps, say. You sell them for $50 or $75 drugs. And then the rest of the month you're panhandling up for food. I buy food with mine. I got food. Like I said, I got food. Real food, you know? Actual food. I try to just eat junk food on my channel. Because usually it's, if I make a sandwich, I want to eat it before it gets dry. And also I try real hard not to eat and just to have something to drink. Because when I talk too much, it's hard to hear. Life gets to sucking real quick. I get overwhelmed often. Let's see what time it is. 7:13. Alright, I think grocery outlet closes at 9. I'm gonna go see because I gotta use the bathroom. Anyway, many of the women that I know who we like to say certain things about autistic women. It's been shown to be untrue, but we push them anyway because we're trying to be inclusive of women in the autistic community. Well, one of the things that's not very welcome in the autistic community is intelligent autistic people. Because we're not your classic retarded version of autism. Oh no, I'm good. Thank you though, I'm sure. They exhibit signs of severe drug use that end up out here. And for a lot of the women that I know, when they hit the wall, when they hit an age where they were no longer young and pretty, people weren't buying them free stuff as much. It became very different. They didn't have any useful skills. And then we have a bunch of people who are working crappy jobs because they don't have any useful skills. for a lot of them, the only thing they ever had is drug use, which teaches you a lot of manipulation. Might as well use your feminine wiles and what little looks you got left to try to convince a doctor to say you're autistic. That's nuts. But it works.